How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown. But I know that Jake can't fight.
Can't
So
fight. is what
he
you're saying.
can't fight.
Started the rigged fights rumor. He's the one that started the steroids rumor. So
Yeah, he did have all of us thinking that you was rigging those fights, though. I ain't gonna lie, he right about that.
But how did you
How could he
honestly
rig a
believe
fight?
that? You honestly believe that?
I wanted to believe it when you fought Woodley.
You know, but me, I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. Jake Paul is fugazi. He's fake.
That's how you feel.
Truly feel. I'll bust him up and his trainer in the
Same
same
night?
night. 2 for 1.
Gervonta Davis openly mocks Jake Paul amid fresh claims that his fights are fixed. He questions Paul's legitimacy, calling him a clown who relies on hype and carefully managed matchups instead of real boxing skill. Davis's remarks underscore the growing criticism of Paul and highlight the widening gap between true champions and social media-driven fighters.
I was training for something like this. Obviously, smaller guy. How was this in the training aspect, Jake?
Yeah, just a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed.
He warming up
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know one thing.
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I
and,
find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna beat Jaden Love ass. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He know. He laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'ma show you and him.
Jake Paul dismissed claims that his fights were scripted, calling the idea absurd and stressing that fixing matches is both illegal and unrealistic. He noted that no reputable fighter would ever throw a fight. Paul traced the rumors to misunderstanding and negativity, questioning why some insist on believing them. He emphasized the allegations are baseless, fueled by critics rather than any evidence from his career.
You know that's dumb, though.
I'm an MMA guy, though.
But anyone who believes that narrative, it's like, come on. It's a federal crime. It's illegal. Like, and you think Anderson Silva's gonna lose? You think Woodley's gonna take a fall? You guys, you know these guys.
Yeah, no, I didn't think Anderson would take a fall, but
you think
why are you passing me?
But people think the Mike Tyson fight's rigged. You think Mike Tyson's gonna?
No, I don't think Mike Tyson would ruin his. Why are you pulling out glizzies?
Don't ever disrespect him talking about fake fights.
You want one of these glizzies?
No, but I'm genuinely interested in the people. I try to understand. Like,
No, everybody's saying Mike Tyson pulled his punches.
I try to understand dumb people because I can't relate. Like, I really genuinely spend parts of my day like trying to like see people online and like think like, how could someone be so dumb? And I still don't get it.
No, I think people wanted to believe that. That's what the difference.
But it's just
is.
like it's just hate, you know.
The buzz around a potential clash between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul has always hovered between spectacle and legitimacy. In a press event fueled by their verbal sparring, Davis pointed to restrictions as the true barrier separating performance from reality. He argued that a fight unrestricted by scripts or controlled conditions would reveal the outcome on its own. The message was clear. His skill depends not on protection or manipulation, but on freedom inside the ring. In that moment, the divide between a career forged in sanctioned competition and one shaped by managed opportunity becomes impossible to ignore.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him.
Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis were slated to fight, but the bout was canceled, igniting ongoing tension between them. Since then, their rivalry has simmered, the unresolved clash fueling the conflict in the boxing world. Roy Jones Jr. noted that Paul was aware of Davis's past issues, yet still offered him the fight. When a new lawsuit emerged, Paul reportedly withdrew, portraying the situation as sudden, despite the legal troubles being long known.
Jake Paul knew what it was when he first signed the fight. This ain't the first time he had battled against a woman. You knew what it was when you first signed up for it. So don't get mad and cuss him out and talk bad about him now. You knew what it was when you signed up for it. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that. Nobody talk. I don't talk bad about him either, but don't do the dude like that. No, the dude having a hard time in his life right now. Don't just do him like that. You know what I mean? Because you knew exactly what he was when you signed him to fight the first time. All I gotta say.
Tim Bradley didn't hold back, openly calling out Jake Paul as fake and questioning the legitimacy of his fights. He argued that despite Paul's hype and promotion, the caliber of his opponents falls short of true professional competition. In Bradley's view, Paul's career leans more on spectacle than genuine challenge, fueling skepticism among established fighters and boxing purists. His critique underscores a central debate in the sport. Should social media fame translate into real respect inside the ring?
I can't knock you I can't knock your hustle. When you've built something outside of boxing and you say, hey, yo, I'm coming over here to the sport now and I'm gonna pick and choose who I fight, y'all come follow me. If they follow him, man, I just understand what it is. I know what I'm looking at. You're not gonna fool me over here, save that stuff for them other people, because I'm not gonna believe that I'm the face of, no, you're not the face of boxing. I'm not giving you that because that's for a lifer.
But that's what he believes.
That's cool, I can't knock him for that. People believe a lot of things for a lot of different reasons. I'm just saying, you can do all the rah-rah stuff, that's your business. But I just know what I'm looking at, right? But on the monetary side and it being an event, the truth is that when he does fight, it does bring attention around the sport. People debate, they argue, people want to see the fight. Is it legit? Is it him and Mike Tyson? No, it's an event.
That's what it is.
Amid swirling speculation, Nikisa Bedarian stepped forward to address a major rumor surrounding Jake Paul's high-profile bout with Anthony Joshua. Social media had been rife with claims that the fight was rigged or scripted for entertainment. Darian firmly denied these allegations, insisting neither Paul nor his team manipulated the outcome. He stressed that the idea of a pre-planned fight is completely false. Bedarian's statement is crucial, putting conspiracy theories to rest and affirming that the match was conducted as a legitimate athletic contest.
I've seen the script, rigged, this, that, and the other. Do you think now, at the very least, that talk goes away? Broke his jaw, went in there against Anthony Joshua. At the very least, do you think that you guys can move on from that? Like, that won't follow you?
No, I don't. I actually, our lawyers are actively going after a number of people. One who claims to be a lawyer himself online. I don't remember the name or the handle, but it was something that had like 200,000 likes. And basically this post said there was an agreement for AJ not to knock out Jake, but AJ disregarded the agreement and decided to not get his payday, but knock out Jake Paul. So it's pretty astonishing what people say. Your dear friend Lou DiBella, saw him put up a bunch of ridiculous things and even said, Nikisa, go ahead and sue me. But this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
And so for the people, again, just to clear this up, because I asked Eddie this question, I'll ask you the exact same question. Once and for all, was there any sort of arrangement as far as it should go this many rounds? Because that's the one that I've heard. Oh, Anthony agreed to 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Can you tell us in black and white if there were any talks of any kind between the network, the promotion, the fighter?
There has never once in Jake Paul's career been any talk of that sort, of anything to do with the fight being anything but a real fight that has exactly the same situation as any professional fight. And that's exactly the same thing here for the Anthony Joshua fight. It's just beyond mind-blowing that people would think that. Anthony Joshua was on record saying that if he didn't finish him in the first round, that would be disappointing, that it would be a failure. The narrative changed as we got closer to fight night and obviously post-fight, and I understand why, but they were pretty adamant it would take max 2 rounds to knock out Jake Paul.
The fight itself revealed just how real and consequential this matchup was. Jake Paul suffered a devastating knockout at the hands of Anthony Joshua, leaving him with a broken jaw. MMA journalist Ariel Helwani offered his perspective on the outcome, emphasizing that Joshua's victory was far from surprising. In Helwani's view, Joshua is a world-class heavyweight with years of experience at the pinnacle of boxing, and the result was a natural reflection of that reality. There was nothing controversial about it. What stood out, Helwani noted, was the manner in which Paul was stopped, highlighting the stark contrast between a seasoned heavyweight champion and a fighter still relatively new to boxing's most punishing division. This bout, he argued, underscored that Paul's previous accomplishments, impressive as they were, did not necessarily signal the ability to compete at the elite level that Joshua represents.
There's no reason for him not to win this fight. And I really didn't know if it was going to last 30 seconds or 8 rounds. And every time he threw a punch, I like winced, because he's a big man and he's an incredible boxer and he's still in his prime, and he's got a very long reach and he's got a lot of power in that right hand, and that left hook is terrifying as well. And so I thought it could end at any moment. And so because of that, I was captivated and enthralled, because I literally thought that he could take Jake's head off at any moment. So a 30-second knockout wouldn't have been a great surprise to me. The fact that Jake went 6 rounds, I think he should view as a moral victory. Sounds like he's proud of himself. Do I think it was the greatest fight of all time? Of course not. Was I expecting the greatest fight of all time? Of course not. Honestly, up until the walkouts, I was like, I can't even believe that this is still happening. I can't believe that this is a real thing that's about to, unfold in front of our eyes. There was a lot of pressure, I think, on Anthony's shoulders for 2 reasons. He's coming off a knockout loss. I don't think that was discussed enough in the lead up to this fight. When you are coming off a knockout loss, you are a little bit tentative, gun shy. You remember it, and he had not fought since then, and it was 15 or so months ago. And so I think he was very worried about slipping on a banana peel, about screwing up for boxing and screwing up for his legacy. And then I thought that he was headhunting a little bit, and that's not really his style, and he was swinging and missing, and I thought that was getting to him a little bit. Do I think he was playing with his food? No, there were a couple times where he was going to the body, and I was like, why aren't you going to the head? The head is open. Upstairs is open.
Once the dust settled, media commentator Luke Thomas emerged as one of the most critical voices in the conversation. Thomas challenged the glowing attention Jake Paul received after the fight, arguing that simply stepping into the ring with a fighter of Anthony Joshua's caliber shouldn't automatically earn Paul praise. Instead, Thomas urged fans and analysts to look closer at what the fight truly represented. In his view, the narrative that Paul proved something by sharing the ring with Joshua overlooks the bigger picture. Paul was outclassed, stopped decisively, and revealed the limits of his boxing development when matched against a genuine elite opponent. Thomas argued that the applause Paul received from some corners was premature. A more critical evaluation, he insisted, was necessary, offering a sobering perspective to an ongoing debate about where Paul truly stands in the world of professional boxing.
Him surviving kind of feeds into the story of him being perhaps a little bit better than we sometimes think, although I don't really co-sign on that. Let me make the point. The first point is, I think people are overreacting a little bit. A little bit. People were suggesting when I got on social media that this was the biggest farce they'd ever seen in their life, and that this was, how could he fight like this, and this was a disaster, and Joshua should have got him out there earlier. There is probably some evidence to suggest that I don't think Joshua was carrying him in the sense of, hey, they coordinated this ahead of time. But was Joshua really stepping on the gas? No, I don't think he was really stepping on the gas. There were times I think he clearly pulled his punches, partly because Jake was squirmy and rotating on the outside. Also in part because I think, as I indicated on Friday, he's watching this guy with pretty bad footwork. He was literally tripping over himself, and he realized he just can't keep this up. So there was that. But people were acting like, how could this be? How could this have happened? Guys, on Friday's MK, and then before that, earlier in the week on Submission Radio, they asked me on Submission Radio, how do you think he's going to fight? And I'm like, he's going to run. And they're like, you don't think he's going to clinch? I'm like, okay, he'll clinch at times, but then the rest of the time, he's going to run. What other way was this going to go? What other way was this ever going to go?